Hello, everybody. Thank God it's a Thursday. Tomorrow is a Friday. Oh, my goodness. Okay, tomorrow we're going to have a good time. A good weekend is coming, but we still have to live through Thursday, right?
It's tomorrow Friday already.
Okay, yes. So in order to live through Thursday, we want something kind of prepare for weekend, right? The weather's still beautiful out there, the fall weather, the snow is not there. We still like to go to the outdoor activities for last time, right? I would say a few more weeks, there's no opportunities at all. Leaves start falling, right? And we're in Cleveland, and the lake is kind of getting cold, right? And pretty soon the snow is coming. Okay.
No, it doesn't snow everywhere, though.
Right? So before snow comes, snow comes, we would like to spend a little bit of time today, talk about outdoor lighting, because after that, we may have a chance to talk about. Right? So we thought kind of, because outdoor is just as big as indoor, right? It doesn't matter, it's huge. It doesn't matter how you look at it. Fortunately, I tell you, when God created Earth, right? He created daylight and nightlight. That means God created our lighting business. Thank you, God. Okay, right? It's God-giving business. Think about it, okay? Because you have a night, okay? Also, we talk about this, okay? Without lights, we have no life.
Yeah.
Right? So, again, old days, we're using the Wi-Fi, the Wi-Fi, everything out there.
We're using Wi-Fi in the old days?
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, the branches, I consider that as Wi-Fi. The branches, the woods, this and that. We keep ourselves warm. We try to
wood fire.
Yeah, wood fire.
Not Wi-Fi.
No, wood fire. So that being said, absolutely. You see, they always make fun of me.
I love to make fun of you.
Right. Okay, so that's why the outdoor lighting, if you think about everything starts from outdoor lighting, then come to the indoor lighting. Right? So truly, let me put it this way. This morning, when I get to the office, 7 o'clock this morning, it's still dark.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep,
and pretty soon, I think the sun will go down very quickly around 5:30 to 6 o'clock. Yep. You're really talking about more than 12 hours or 13 hours. You literally stay in the darkness.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, we actually have some area lights in our parking lot that are our area lights.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look great.
They look great.
Put them in.
That's a serious, okay? Because at night, almost to a point, okay? I believe in this. Leslie comes to the office when it's dark. Leslie goes home when it's dark.
Yes.
Right, Leslie?
True story.
Okay, it's a true story. So that being said, we have to make sure Leslie has enough lights to get to her car, okay? Or go to the right car, her own car, instead of go to somebody else's car.
Yeah.
Right.
Just go around the parking lot pulling door handles until one.
Also, we have to make sure Leslie go to the house. It's her house, not somebody else's house. Okay. So that being said, we have to have a light.
Yep.
To make sure that happens correctly.
Right.
Right. So now we're really talking about how big the business is. Okay. Sometimes we pay too much attention inside. Now, today, we switch our attention to outside. So, Jerry, let's talk about a market opportunity.
Sure. So,
you're so good at it. That kid does so much research to find out all the things out there.
Right. Today, we're just going to talk about one piece of the pie, though. So, just like Ella said, every building that you're putting lighting in for indoor most likely has an outdoor space too. So, we're going to talk about how do we get that business. And we want to do some unique opportunities with that too.
Sure.
So let's go ahead and talk about what a small piece of that pie is though. So I took the flat tops. So like you guys, if you saw our warehouse show, you saw the data on the flat tops. If we took that data and then used it for outdoor, we're seeing about 500,000 buildings with flat tops, and that's and counting, right? Because we're still counting them every single day. And then if we use an average of 55 fixtures per one of those buildings, so by fixtures, I'm talking about the area lights.
Sure.
I'm talking about the wall packs. I'm talking about the flood lighting or the spot lighting, anything on the outside around in the parking lot, in the gardens.
But you also, your base today, you take one segment of that so-called building as a flat roof building.
Right.
Right? I love the flat roof building. I told you guys many times when I was on the road, we'll be on the road, Leslie and I will be on the road pretty soon. Every time when we land any single airport, you will see so many of the flat buildings after flat buildings after flat buildings.
Right. And that's why I picked this one, because everybody can relate. We don't live around skyscrapers. So for me to pick skyscrapers probably wouldn't make sense for everyone on the call.
Sure, exactly.
So if we take that 55 fixtures per building and multiply it by that 500,000, we're looking at 27.5 million fixtures as the opportunity here. And then I took an average sale price. So sale price, so at $100 for you guys, probably is going above $100 for some of those really nice area lights, and you might be going below for some really small wall packs. So it kind of varies, but it averages out probably around.
But again, each flat top roof buildings also involve, like you mentioned, 3 types of light bulbs. So one is wall pack. You got to have a wall pack shining down.
Yep.
Right. Then you have the flat light shining up.
Yep.
Right, Paul? Paul's dog is there.
A lot of people like to light up their buildings. You know,
All right, that's what people do.
Or, you know,
right, lighting up,
security, all kinds of different reasons.
And fortunately, every building have to have the parking lot.
Yep.
Gotta have a parking lot.
And we love the parking lot,
Yeah.
right? So give Larry the Jerry the opportunity for the area lighting. You got to have area lighting to make sure, like I said, Leslie can find her car. It's because you got to have lights in the parking lot.
Yeah, my car is black. I would be blind.
Right. So you can. Doesn't matter what you do. They got to have it.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. That opportunity just simply huge. When you go through the details.
Right. So if we go multiply by that $100 average sale price, we're looking at 2.7 billion just for this piece of the pie of that market. Just one little piece.
One opportunity there.
One opportunity, the piece of pie will end up the $2.7 billion.
Right.
Now, when you talk about $2.7 billion, just between us to the distributors. Okay, right? Because we only look at business opportunity is with our network.
Right.
Okay, not really to the end users. So what we as a manufacturing, moving the products to the distributors. Then distributors able to move to the end users. Just imagine that if you put a 30% margin on those guys to do that job, that number will end up close to $4 billion.
Right, right. And think about it though. You might say 27.5 million fixtures. Come on, you guys talk about there's a billion CFL or fluorescent going in every single year, and there's a billion of the LED replacement of that going in.
Right.
Well, think about it. That 27.5, like Ellis was alluding to, your margins are huge.
Correct. And your unit price is high.
Yeah. So you want to sell this. I would rather sell one outdoor fixture over one light bulb any day of the week, or even 100 light bulbs. Right.
You see, that's what he thinks. So basically what I tell him is, in order for you to sell outdoor, you have to sell 100 TA tubes first before you're qualified to sell the outdoor. Right, Paul?
Yes, absolutely.
How many TA tubes have you sold today, Jared?
Today, I lost count.
Too many.
It's not looking good for you, Jared.
Okay, you see what I mean? Because in my personal opinion, the outdoor lighting, because the nature of the fixture, because the cost of fixture, those high ticket items.
Yeah.
Okay. High ticket item.
Yeah.
Okay. So most people will say, I'd rather sell 10 of the wall packs every day instead of 1,000 TA tubes.
Right.
Right.
That's
because of unit price. Okay. So, but that indirect to show you how big the opportunity we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Now remember that. Okay. He only talking about flat top roof buildings. Each of those buildings, actually, do you remember the average, the square foot for those buildings? Remember we talked about this?
Oh man.
Fresh your memory.
Was it something like, I thought, in the 100,000s square feet? No.
Remember, Paul? Remember the other
me.
show he was talking about? What's the average of those buildings, the size?
The average size of a building?
Right.
Oh,
remember he did that
It
before?
was smaller than ours, I think. Ours was huge.
Right.
It was like 75,000 square feet, I think. Is that what the average
Even
was?
smaller than that.
Even smaller, 50?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he did between the size, he started talking about between 37.
Oh
to
boy,
55.
that was way off.
Woo. Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
If you're looking at his older presentation, that's the number he was using. Okay, so because the size, that how many buildings, if you look at like a TCP size, we have like a 150 to 200 square feet, that kind of size building make the building number become smaller. But if you go down to 37 to 55, that building is getting, the quantity is getting bigger. But again, each of those buildings need a wall pack, need a front light, need parking lot. distinguish that. Now, that being said, just small segment talking about 2.7 billion. Let me challenge you something else.
Oh boy.
Remember the other day we did a school project?
Yeah.
How many K to 12 schools in the United States?
That one I do remember. That one's 98,000.
98,000.
Right.
If you take a 98,000, okay, also at the 55 fixture per school, that's another huge opportunity.
I would say 55 is probably low for a school because a lot of
School's got a
schools,
lot.
they want to have a lot more light at night. because
Correct.
They're very concerned
I would
about
say double.
security at the school.
Right.
Yeah,
So
like
if
after
you-
school events when it's
Our-
dark.
Yeah.
The school, the security issue, right?
Yes.
For the same token, let's look
And
at
safety.
right? Also, let me challenge you another one. Okay.
Okay.
There's no numbers you did it by yourself. I
I
didn't do
know.
that for you. Okay.
We've done a lot of numbers though, Ellis. So it might take me a minute.
Okay. Let me keep going, Paul. How about that? Okay.
Yeah, keep going, Ellis.
Do you remember how many hotels in the United States?
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. How
He
much-
doesn't even. He did it by himself. He doesn't remember that
Here,
many
you really gotta
hotels.
become a
I
numbers
know,
guy.
I gotta memorize
Each
this, I guess.
hotel, believe it or not, has have the minimum 55 fixture there.
Yeah, I would
Oh, yeah.
agree with the
Okay.
hotel.
Let me challenge him one more
Oh
number.
my gosh.
Because the 27 billion just keep growing and
Yeah.
keep growing. This is a huge, unbelievable big amount. Last number, okay? See if you still have a good memory. You're not getting old, okay?
I'm failing so far though. So
How
bring on the
many
torture.
how many assistant livings?
Assistant
Oh,
livings.
boy.
That one was a lower one. That one was like 19,000 or something.
Correct. But again, assistant
You
livings,
got one.
assistant livings like schools, you do need more outdoor lighting.
Yeah.
School need more security lights, but assistant livings, people in and out.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
you need just by nature, people want to have a more light so they can see it because this is assisted living.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
assistant living. The last
Paul, do you
thing
agree with that?
someone
100% agree with you, Alice. I mean, a lot of these places that you discussed and talked about, they're looking at, safety and security at night, I mean, we're in the Northeast, well, the Midwest, I should say, and the Northeast even, and it gets dark early.
Yeah.
So you're gonna need lights at night because you don't want to like walk out of the building and
Dark
trip
all
a
the
wall
time.
or,
Yeah.
Correct. So,
Right.
so
Right.
actually, I hate to put this way. I would say like a quantity per se is a less quantity for outdoor, but the dollar amount is far bigger outdoor lighting than indoor lighting
Right.
Yeah.
because it's expensive. It's
And-
not cheap.
I think a lot of people are gonna argue with us that, oh, I already have a light out there.
Right.
But I think what they don't realize is that the quality of the light that they have out there
Sure.
may not be very good.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I'm
it's-
specifically thinking about like these orange lights that
Yeah,
we
that
see
low pressure
everywhere.
sodium.
Remember, you tell the story. You
Yeah.
may see in the parking lot to lots of places, you still have a very warm color lights.
Right.
Yeah,
Remember that?
There's an orange building right
And
now.
orange, we call orange
Yeah.
building, okay? Okay, Paul,
Yeah.
what kind of lights do they use? Maybe
Those are-
some of you may not realize
Those
it.
are all low sodium lamps. Those are all low pressure sodium.
It's called
lamps.
low pressure sodium lamps. Remember that? The low pressure sodium lamps give you very warm color. We will say by today's standard, we look at those lights out and say, what the heck? They have those orange lights, okay?
Yeah.
But there's a story behind this. Paul, would you tell people the story?
Yes.
Why?
so-
You know what I mean? By today's standard, this is
Yeah.
ridiculous.
So that
Yeah,
was all started back in the day by General Electric. They were the ones that invented the Edison light bulb. So it all goes all the way back to that when they first introduced metal halide. They did the sodium lamps, and those sodium lamps were all those orange colored lights.
Right,
So
that's
they had
a
the-
low pressure
Or
sodium.
low pressure sodium. So they had the marketing spin that. So they said, let's bathe the world in a golden glow.
That's a history.
That works. There's a lot of orange buildings.
It worked. There's a lot of orange buildings.
Good job, Paul. And that's the history about outdoor lighting, right, Paul?
Yes.
Outdoor lighting,
But
those
the quality
orange
of that light,
buildings.
the quality of that light is really poor.
Yeah.
The efficiency of that light is very low. It's not very low. It's not very
I will
efficient.
guarantee you today, if we have orange or the low pressure sodium lamps in our parking lot, I will say either Leslie or Jerry, those guys will never find their cars. Because it is not almost not visible. It just
Right.
give you they should have some park they should have like a gating places using those low
Yeah.
pressure sodium, not in
Yeah.
the parking lot because you cannot see anything.
Right.
right?
Yeah.
You want to have a what?
Well, I would have that like a place for dating. People go out, have a
Yeah.
dinner, and
Outdoor
hang
dinners.
out.
He's trying to help you out, you know.
I
It's
tried to
like,
help
you know,
you out.
in case
Then
Are
you
you
should-
trying to get me
we
a
heard-
date again?
Right.
We heard you two were
Try
looking
to
for
use
dates,
it.
so we're,
Right.
you know.
Try to using the low pressure sodium, right?
Right. We get the sodium
Right.
lamp out
You know,
there.
it's a mood issue, but not really cannot see anything.
I
Yeah.
would prefer a 24K LED.
24K.
24K, all right.
You see what I mean?
What about
There's a lot.
2950?
That's a lot of history. Paul, do you agree with
Yes,
that?
yes,
This
there's a lot of
part you
history
show with that guy's a perfect example. Guy, you got to give G credit way back
Yeah.
over there. The marketing department was awesome.
Yeah.
They able to spin that low pressure sodium into such a fashion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, the color rendering on that is almost zero, almost, it's
Yeah.
like 20. You
Right.
get like a 20
20.
out of it. So like from a quality of the light source, it's a horrible quality light source. Nothing looks like it's supposed to, none of the colors there,
Right.
you know, I mean, it's just not very good.
So let's like
But-
modern, now we need to like the modern days, right?
Yeah,
So first
we
of
have to
all,
move forward
we're
now.
moving forward right now. Okay, that moving forward, first of all, we have to identify the applications, right?
Yeah.
So Jerry, go
Yeah,
back to you
so-
again.
So I want to. This is
Yeah,
a
poor
good
Stanley got
segue.
to help.
Yeah,
Jerry,
Yeah, I'll see.
yeah,
So
yeah,
this is a good
Jerry help to
segue
help.
into
Yeah.
wall packs though, because we were just
Ooh.
talking about
Oh, you
that
want to show
low
wall
pressure
pack?
sodium. So today I wanted to talk a lot about unique applications. Okay, so like instead of going up to your customer and saying, I don't have that, can you try to switch? That's a harder conversation than going, you know, I have something that's comparable. Would you like to just keep what you have and move forward? So what we have here is our traditional wall pack, and this has a setting on it of 2950K, which is not quite as low as that low pressure sodium, but it still might be that good entry for you guys as you go into that. Say I wanted to retrofit that orange building down the street. So here you can see, this is actually the 41.
Set that off for a
Oh,
second.
no, it's not.
Oh.
It just looks
There
weird
you
in the
go.
light.
That's 2950.
Right, so here's that
It's the
2950.
camera, it doesn't capture it correctly.
Right, so this will, but my
Maybe go
pitch is,
back a
okay.
little.
Yeah, hit that whiteboard, it might.
Okay.
No, not really.
Yeah,
Yeah,
actually,
it's-
when you
it's
look at
wider
this
than it
slide,
is.
it's the board looks much more wider. Okay,
Yeah.
but this is a 29
Figure
fifty.
like-
Okay, now this is getting weird.
It's
Okay,
just
guys,
orange.
let me tell you guys my opinion. Just hold on one second.
Mhm.
Okay, old days, GE going with low pressure sodium, right?
Yes.
With the wave warm color.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, when have a modern technology come out, where people say, "Hey, we're like have 5,000, right? You want to
Right.
make a white people can
Yeah.
see it, right?"
Right.
But all of a sudden, there's another training things coming.
Yep.
It's called dark sky compliant.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
You know,
Because-
but think about so-called dark sky compliant. Actually, you're going back to the way it
Yeah.
was. Not exactly,
Not
but
exactly.
you're going
We're going
back.
in reverse though.
and they might.
Am I right?
Yes, you're right.
Would you guys talk about this?
Sure.
Dark sky compliant, but you understand why we're going back now.
Right, so some communities will require dark sky, but some communities even just want dark sky qualities for their light because they want to reduce that uplight. They want to be maybe not pay the extra premium for that
Right.
dark sky certification, but they want to take steps towards it. That's what this wall pack is all about. So we have this 2950 CCT right here. This is for, that is a dark sky compliant color, because if you go above 3000, then you have blue light emission concerns.
And I'm kind of sound like an idiot right now. Okay, would you, Jerry, tell me why the 2950 will have a dark sky compliant? What the heck are we doing? Are you just telling me the 5,000K or 4,000K somehow is going to pollute the sky? What are we talking about
Right,
here? Right,
it's-
right?
It's
That's-
because of that blue light emission,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, so in 5K, there's a lot of blue light and if it shines up, it drowns out the stars in the sky, and that's really what they're concerned
Right, so
about.
they
want to be
actually
able to
want
see the
that.
stars.
So yeah, in other words, they want to get it as lower Kelvin temperature as possible.
Yeah,
Right.
we
Right?
can, it's
Right?
just like
We
my,
can go even lower.
my guy Elon Musk, right? We like Elon Musk.
All right?
They gave him a whole bunch of crap about the satellite network he's putting up because they can't see the stars now. Same thing. Same thing here. It's the same thing.
Right. They want to make sure you
Right.
cannot see his stars, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so very easy to understand. Again, in order to, I mean, when I say reverse, which means in order to not prove the sky, you have to use a much warm color.
Right.
Right.
Okay,
So in
but
this-
but again, you cannot go too low because if
Yeah.
you go too low, again, the light of the quality is
Yeah.
not there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so that's why we did 2950. So you're in the bulk, you're where you need to be for that dark sky.
Yeah, but let me put this with 2950, you did it two different ways. Number one, because you understand what a dark sky complains about. Number two is, unfortunately, people already put a certain kind of standard out there. Say
Sure.
3,000 is a benchmark.
Yeah.
Do not cross it.
Yeah.
You
it's
cross it,
already set.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. So a little bit more about this wall pack, if you want it, just so that you can say, hey, no matter what you need, whether you're replacing those old low pressure sodiums or you want something new and looks a little bit better as of a higher CCT, that's what this guy's for, because it's CCT at 3,000, 4,000, and 5,000.
Right. So yeah, in other words, not everybody really excited by the dark sky compliant. Somebody just simply want to see it.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Some of it's just generated by local code.
Right.
You know, that
You
city's
know what I mean?
gonna
If
say,
I
hey,
have no concern about blue sky, I'd rather to have a 5,000K because 5,000K does make you feel things better
You see
or
better.
see things better for
You see
sure,
better.
right?
Yep.
So right now, Jerry created this unit all in one.
Yep. And then
So yeah, in other words, Jerry, tell everybody out there, say, make a fuss.
yeah, make a fuss. This
Make a
is
fuss.
the unit you want for the fuss.
Right.
because
Make a fuss.
the great thing is you install it at your customer and then they go, hey, that's too bright. You're not uninstalling it, calling us up again and saying, hey, I need the other wattage. You just step it down. And same with the CCT. That's what this guy's designed for. So this is that unique
Very unique.
application.
Very, very
Maybe we
unique.
put that on Leslie's house that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Again,
She's
you
just
have
got a
low wattage jacket. No, stay here for a second. Low wattage jacket, 35, 45, 55. That's another fuss because either you have a choice for 3 different wattage. Obviously, for a high wattage 115, we only give you one because that's when you go high, that's really high. You don't need to have option. Okay. So that number one. One thing is from my personal point of view is I want everybody to put microwave sensors in there.
Yeah.
I want to, my personal goal, I want to make a wall pack microwave sensor as a standard. I tell you why. Very, very simple. This is waste of the energy between the midnight 12 o'clock and 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning when there's nobody out there, not even a ghost, not even a squirrel, not even a rat. At that time, why you have the whole thing light up? You should just dim down to 20%. Number one. Number two is, let's face it, the microwave is very, very sensitive.
Yes.
If you have a single move, even the wind, okay, the 3 waves, boom, it will be on.
We'll turn on for you.
I really believe in this. If you're talking about install a microwave sensor in those units, you will instantly save your electricity by 30% for sure, because it's absolutely unnecessary.
Yeah.
Between 12 o'clock, I'm only talking about 12 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the morning, about 4 hours.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And today, every wall pack out there, all night long, full brightness.
Yep.
Is unnecessary, right?
Yep.
Do you agree?
Yep. So that's our first unique.
So Jared, now you told us that this is selectable wattage, right? 35 watt, 45 watt, 55 watt. So can you give us an example of like what that would replace then? So like I know on our building, on the building next door, you were talking about the orange low pressure sodium.
Yeah.
So I don't know what wattage that is, but I'll guess it's probably like 175
Yeah.
watt metal halide.
Yep, that's where we're at. So
Okay.
175, and then we have the 115 watt, and that's up to getting to that 250 range.
So this covers, so like I can cover maybe 70 to 200 watt metal
Yeah.
halide with this unit and the 3 wattages?
Yeah, but at the
Okay.
115 watt, you can go
The
up to 400.
115, right, and that's kind of what I wanted to differentiate. The 115 is for, let's say, 400 watt metal halide, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Sounds
Okay,
great.
figured
Move
it.
on.
There you go.
Next
so,
one.
So just a little note here, though. This is all about unique outdoor applications. So if you have one, go ahead and just put it in the chat there or unmute yourself. You can help us out, and we can actually maybe talk live to you and talk about like how to
Sure,
address
because
those.
you have some unique ideas.
Yeah,
You may
right.
see a product, you think if we twist it a little bit, add a new function to it, make the products very, very
Just
unique.
quickly,
That's our
480.
specialty, remember that, okay?
Areas.
So, here we go.
So, and then here's another one that we get every once in a while. And by every once in a while, I mean very rarely, but you know, there's some old buildings and their outdoor spaces on the walls are routed with 480 volt lines. And one thing that we'll do is they'll say, well, I want a wall pack. If you've ever tried to buy a 480 volt wall pack, you probably spent a lot of money on it. One alternative to that, this Paul almost breaks my
Are you
unit,
sure?
is
This is
to,
very durable.
right, is to take a area light and actually mount it on the wall instead.
Really?
So, yeah,
How do you do that?
you can take a smaller one, like 100 watt or less
One I got here?
area light, like Paul's got right here, and replace this slip fitter mount for a pole usually, and we have wall mounting now. So here's our wall mount.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
So here's our wall mount. You put it and it just hooks right onto the wall like
So I
this.
take this piece off right here and it goes right in there, Jared?
Yep.
Oh, it
So
looks like there's a slot right here for
Is
that.
that right here,
Yeah,
right?
with some.
So you
some
actually, you
screws
take,
right there.
you take the whole thing out.
Yep.
You take those things, you take whole piece out.
Yep, this
Slide
whole piece
that
comes
in.
out.
Wow,
Then you
okay.
mount this plate on the wall if you need to, if you don't already have one there, and then you'll take this part and mount it onto there. So we're ready to go.
Very nice.
But that's a good good cost-effective solution, I should say, to getting that high voltage wall pack solution figured out for you, because we sell a lot more of these high wattage for an area light than we do on the walls. So like that's one situation where it really help you guys out.
Wow, that's interesting. That's very unique. That's
Yeah.
very unique.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
just to, let's keep that one over here for a
Okay.
second. So just to clarify, a couple more things with the area light is we also have a pole mount. So this is for a 4-inch or 5-inch round pole. You can also put it onto like that.
So if I don't have a pole that I'm sliding this
Yeah,
on,
yeah, and you
I'm
need
mounting
to-
it directly to the pole now like this
Right.
now. So it's going right on like
Right,
that.
so if you just have a simple straight pole in your
Gotcha.
lot. And then there's also, what was it?
Square in.
Oh
and,
yeah,
circle.
square. So if you have a square pole, then you just need this.
Yeah.
You just mounts directly on.
So both options for the square.
Yeah,
in,
both
round
options
in.
on that.
Gotcha.
And then here's one. So say you need that high voltage application still for your wall pack, but now you want it adjustable because you like our adjustable wall pack. Well, we have this trunnion mount that goes on the wall as well, and that'll allow you to angle that light.
Oh, that's
However
pretty
you
nice.
need.
So it just hooks on into there.
Yep, just
and
like
then we
before.
can just move it all the angles.
Yeah, so these
Okay.
this is every 5 degrees.
Oh.
That's how you can adjust this.
Very nice. Very nice.
So it's really cool. So you can help
Very cool.
really adjust that for you.
I didn't know you had all these options.
I know, lots
I
of
didn't know that
gizmos.
either. The kid, that Jerry has a lots of secrets. Okay,
Yeah, you
Oh,
didn't
you-
know these secrets.
I know. You and I just don't know about it. Good job, Jerry.
There
Good
you
job. Excellent, excellent. So now you're talking about wall pack. Also, you're using the area lighting, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So is there anything else very unique on the area lighting?
Yeah, there actually is. So
Okay.
that'll step us into, you can wait a second. That'll step us into another application I wanted to talk about, which was the floodlights or spotlights. So our floods, we have a 15 watt, 25 watt, and 50 watt traditional, has a knuckle or a yoke mount on it. We actually, I think.
Yeah, we'll just
We have
show.
one somewhere.
Show one.
I don't know. Go ahead and keep talking, Jared. I'll talk.
So here we go. So here's our traditional flood. Everybody's seen it before. Looks just like this. It doesn't have 0 to 10 volt leads, any kind of dimming. That's one note to keep in your mind through all of this. But it's just a standard flood. But if say you want dimming, what are you gonna do now? We have multiple options for dimming. Actually, every single option I'm about to show you moving forward has some type of dimming, whether it's through a photocell or a sensor or through actually the line leads. And we're gonna start with talking about, so that went up to 50 watts. Say you needed an 80 watt, anywhere 50 to 80 watt. We have the adjustable wall pack. It's loose so we can show it. So just because it's called a wall pack, why does that mean you have to actually mount it on the wall? Like that, I'm trying to like help you guys. These unique situations sometimes require a little bit of creativity. It can help you guys really just win the business because you're like, hey, I have this solution. If you don't mind looking at this in the spot and say it's in a shrub, they're not going to see it anyway, right? You can win the business instead of saying, I don't have a solution for you and have to move on. So this is our 80 watt adjustable wall pack, which actually goes every 5 degrees again. You can go all the way up to 90. So you can go all the way up to the side of the building if you need it and have a really, really aggressive wall wash.
That's a really good floodlight. It's
Yeah.
high and the floodlight.
Yeah, so this is a
Wow,
high-end floodlight.
okay.
We can put a photocell on it. Some people ask, hey, that little floodlight, can you put a photocell on it? Well, no, because the whole thing is heat sink. But these guys, we have other options. We can put that photocell on and now it turns off at night, like
Sure.
Alice was asking before,
Right.
without a switch or
Wow,
timer
that's
or
really
building
cool.
sensor,
Okay.
So that's up to the 80 watt. Say you said, okay, 80 watt, but I'm in the big boy business. I need that 100 to 200 watt solution.
Ooh.
And I want it to dim. So here we go. So this is our new round high bay, and I'm showcasing an add-on accessory right here. What this is IP65. It goes 100 watts or 80 watts actually, so you could do either or with that adjustable wall pack, all the way up to 200 watts. And what we do is you can flip it upside down, mount it on the floor. Now you have this full capability of angling this spotlight. I mean, it's going to be 120 degrees distribution on this guy, so it's going to really cover those big buildings.
Pretty nice, Jared.
So-
Pretty clever.
Yeah, and then the great part is that it's 0 to 10 volt lines, so right here. So if you need to dim it, because you have that special unique application, you can dim it. We can do that now.
Nice.
So in other words, Gary, you look at the line you have, you kind of cross over from each other, okay?
Yeah.
Certain things that when you have right now is for the high latest products for the high bay, for instance.
Right.
Now, the same high bay, you flip it the other way, you become a high end front light,
Right.
what I call a spotlight, right? This is very high end, okay?
Yeah.
So based on that, the yoke mount actually can develop into multiple different functions. If
Yeah.
you're able to do the yoke mount, you could anybody have another options want to mount differently, you can develop another mounting
Yeah.
into that fashion.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we have flexibility on
So
that.
yeah, in other words, the one you were talking about here is what we call the low end, okay?
Yep.
Do you consider that?
Yep.
But when you're talking
Standard.
about standard, when you're talking about that one, right? When you're talking about the using the wall pack into the spotlight and for the 80 watt all the way to the 200 watt, now you're really shining up on that one now.
Mhm.
So that being said, you cover both low end, everyday stuff, and high end.
Yep.
That's really cool. That's really, really
Yeah.
cool.
And
okay?
then we have to keep going though, because there's also even higher wattages. So
Even
say
higher
even
wattages.
higher. So say you are the one sole person that got lucky, and you get to retrofit the like a Cedar Point,
Oh,
and you need to be able to see all the way up the freaking building.
Sure.
You know, you can see
So-
Canada from the top of Millennium Forest, by the way.
Really?
In case you didn't know that.
huh.
Yeah.
Oh,
on a
you
clear
went
day.
there? You went up there?
Yeah, I like that. I like that, right?
Yeah, you went up there, right? Okay.
Yeah, so when I'm on it, I'm like, wow, they at nighttime they can really get some light up here. But to do that, we would probably want like a 200 to 300 watt, right?
Well, I know where you're going.
Yeah, so we can take a look at this. So this is our area light again. With that, since it'll be a 300 watts, pretty big. You
Yeah,
probably will
much
want
bigger
to
than this.
You probably will want to use the slip fitter with a pole and a floor and onto a concrete floor for that. But the cool thing is we can swap out these lenses. So we have a type 3 standard. We have a type 4, which would be a little narrower. So maybe you need it to get all the way up there. And then we have the type 5, which will be like just big block, right? So if you just want to do like an entire building.
So a type 3, type 4, type 5, just different beam angles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just different beam angles.
Right,
So
okay.
type 3 is a little bit like this. Type 4 is like that. You want to get to the top of that
Right.
roller coaster, you probably want a type 4. And yeah, we can angle it. I had another thought and I'm losing it right now.
Lost that thought.
Yeah, but you can hook photocells up on this. You can eliminate that need for a building control. You can just, hey, at nighttime we have a 3-pin, we have a 4-pin, 7-pin photocell
Mhm.
on the top.
Yep.
And then we also can do, if you need it to be even more fancy, we have motion sensor and daylight harvesting on this. You can set those photo controls now.
That's pretty cool.
That's
So
cool.
you don't actually need to put a photocell, a generic photocell on top anymore. Just hook this guy in, program it for what you need to with a remote. We have a remote to do it. You don't need to open it and adjust the dip switches. You can use that remote. So later, if it's a unique situation and they say, hey, this time of year, I want it a little brighter at this time, you can go into the remote, set it, hey, I need the daylight harvesting to kick in a little bit sooner, and it'll go ahead and do that for you.
Oh, that would be cool. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
And you know what? I really want to show my unit. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
He didn't make. He
Uh-oh.
forgot my unit.
I did.
Paul, would you
Yeah.
bring over that little?
Yeah, well, he wanted to skip your unit.
Good, because I need a drink.
He wanted to skip your unit.
Remember this guy, the tough unit in the high bay? But
Uh-huh.
look at the back, what we able to mount here.
Yeah, got it.
Right? Jerry, you have to agree with
Yeah.
me. We have this mounting here, but this mounting actually, you have a yoke mount, it tilts.
Yep.
Yeah.
So actually this guy, since it's IP67, more than 65, you can literally using this one in the open area.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You can either shining down or shining up.
Yeah, and you have that 90-degree beam.
90-degree beam angle.
Yeah,
So
that's a big
that's
deal.
another big deal. But a mounting will be a little bit different. Mounting, you have to using this mounting. On.
Yeah.
But you know,
Be like a square yoke.
right, square yoke. So you have a square yoke, actually will adjust the degree here.
Mhm.
Like every 5 degrees, you can adjust it.
Yep.
That
Okay.
one's unlimited, actually. You have smooth control.
Right,
all the
smooth
way.
control on either way, okay? You can go this way on the front, shining up. I mean, this guy you're talking about, again, 200 watt, but this 200 watt, remember, punch out 32,000 lumens.
Yeah, that's quite a lot.
That's quite a lot, okay? Also, it's a
Aluminum.
90-degree. Now, the other one, would you bring your, that one, that one, yeah.
Oh.
The difference between those two is This one has no lens on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's
120
very,
degrees.
it's very flat. It's like wash the wall.
Yep.
But this guy has a 90-degree on it,
Yep.
which is really able to go very high up and down at the same time.
Yeah, and this
Okay.
one's also wider. So
Yes.
if you want that wider look, you could stack a bunch of these in a linear look, linear direction all the way along the wall. You'd never have any spots that don't have light on them.
Correct.
This would be more pointed on the wall, so
Right.
you'd see like this dark area between
Exactly.
the angles. So,
Okay, let's finish up on your area lighting.
that is the finished on the wall.
Okay, that's
So-
good because he tried to cross from area lighting to front lighting. He tried to use the
Yeah.
one product for both. So how about layouts?
So layouts, I wanted to talk about layouts because those are going to be really important for those unique situations. You're probably going to walk in and somebody's going to say, hey, I have this courtyard and I want to put floods all the way around, but it's like an ornate courtyard for say like an art museum or a natural history museum, and I want it to look really nice at night. How are you supposed to know how it's going to look unless you go out there and try it? Well, we have the capability to do those layouts for you, and we can actually show the wall wash. You will see what we talked about before, that beam pattern on the wall, all the way around the courtyard. It's going to help you a lot with just knowing what to pick.
Right. So as you know, at the other show, if you remember when we're talking about TCP layouts and Jerry literally lay out outdoor for you.
Yep.
Okay. So if you have any opportunities, you have more knowledge, you need more knowledge, just talk to Jerry.
Yeah.
So,
That will.
Jared, what kind of information do I need to provide if I want a layout from you?
I need an address.
Okay.
Because we will actually go in and just pull up the Google Earth image and zoom in real close and be able to overlay on top of that. So then I can take the exact building. And
So the
build
Google
your
image
building.
will give you the size of the building and
Yeah.
how many parking, size of the parking lot, how many entrance, people in and out, right?
Yep.
With all the details.
Yep.
That's really cool.
And then
Right.
if you have it, it's easier if you tell me the height of the building, but I can actually go on the street view and measure the height of the building. It just won't be as accurate for you guys, but hey, buildings are usually 25 feet, 30 feet, somewhere in that range. So
I see.
sometimes it's an estimate, but that's helpful. And then any type of requirement, like do you have a special foot candle requirement? Is there a special horizontal foot candle requirement because you want to see that wall wash and it's got to be bright enough or dark, or you don't want it as bright. Those are important.
So
as
you
well.
just need the general details, how much light I want there, what are the dimensions of the building, and maybe
Yeah.
the address so I can get the Google map.
Yeah.
The layout of the lights or
Right.
something, the
So-
parking lot.
Our software is it's pretty great. Like we can do some fancier looking buildings with multiple layers and things like that. So
Wow.
that's what helps you with being able to really do those unique situations. Like say Case Western Reserve is a unique building or college that we have here up in Cleveland, and it has some really weird looking buildings. If you want something that's going to be able to get close to be able to tell them, hey, this is close for your pitch. Those are the type of things.
That's
we
really
have.
cool.
Pretty cool.
So,
Wow. This is very informative
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
He's been holding a lot of secrets.
Right, and he shared lots of his secret, even secret to us. Point out, we are learning from him too today.
Right.
What a show! What a show! So that being said, Leslie, would you come here to finish the show for us? We had a very, very exciting, informative. It literally keeps me awake. Like, what are you doing? What?
I gotta keep you on your toes.
Keep awake.
Because all of a sudden, I was shocked saying that kid knows all the stuff.
You're
You know?
shocked by
Man.
how much
I know
that
how
Jared
good
knows?
he is. Right?
It's
Uh-huh.
pretty shocking to me as well.
Okay.
And that's we'll keep him around for another day.
I know.
But if you want to join us tomorrow, we don't have a show tomorrow, do we?
No, we do not. We have a virtual visit at
Now,
11.
unfortunately, like I said, today, by the way,
But we will be back in action on Monday, so
Right.
definitely register. We got a lot of great topics coming down the pipeline next week, so please join us. If you're interested in submitting a topic you'd like us to speak on, let us know and we'll add it to the calendar. Ellis wants to point out that he has a million meetings today.
right, today, besides this we're talking about, we actually have 7.
7.
We have 7 virtual meetings with all the distributors, and we just finished 2 before this, and after this, every hour all the way to 5 o'clock
And I
today.
just ordered all
So
their food.
just in case you have, you like to
You want to
talk
meet with us
about it?
one-on-one?
One-on-one,
Send us a note.
Send
Drop
us
us
a
a
note.
line.
We'll do
We'd
that.
be more than happy to meet with you.
okay?
So with that, have a great weekend. We hope to see you next week, and we'll talk lighting again on Monday. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Have a great, great weekend.